Welcome everyone to Spilling the Tea with Estee and Marlene, where we serve the hottest tea. Join me and my baby stripper voice.
And me welcoming you all to eavesdrop onto our uncensored opinions. This platform is used to inform, laugh, and potentially inspire others to speak out about things we may all be thinking about but are too afraid to say out loud.
And don't forget, babes, if the shoe fits, wear it.
Welcome, guys, to Spilling the Tea with Estee and Marlene. Thank you for tuning in.
Hi. I was a little distracted.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to speak for myself. I am a little hungover.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's like a tiny bit.
I'm not hungover, but I'm just not 100%.
Yeah, like we went out yesterday and I don't know who told us that we can mix tequila with aguardiente, with champagne. Not a good idea.
I stopped drinking like mid-party,
Oh, yeah?
and then I was just like nursing my one drink, and
I definitely did not.
that's why I'm here. That's why I'm wearing jeans.
And I'm wearing sweats.
Mm-hmm.
I want to shout out our one YouTube comment.
Yeah.
He mentioned my toes. They're not done, but shout out to you. Thank you for noticing my lovely feet.
Yeah, and we can talk offline.
If the price is right.
Everything has a price.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell people our conversation just now? Because I think the people deserve to know.
All right. So we're talking about people that pay for feet pictures.
Or feet fetishes.
Feet fetishes. And Esty goes, what if somebody's willing to pay like $2,000 for you using a video of you jerking your man off with your feet?
No faces.
No faces. And I was like, no, because I know that that's my dick out in the world. And also I'd be thinking about like VPN numbers and like all these other things that could happen. Like it could be tracked back. But you're willing to just sell yourself for $300.
100%. If I had a man, which I might not, we're keeping it mysterious. They tell me, I'll be like, pop your dick out. Getting in position, and I am jerking it to finish. $350.
And I learned that my man does not give a fuck either. He's like, I'm willing to do it too for money. And I'm like,
what? I would fucking do that shit. With this economy, yes.
So now I have to.
Basically, Marlene's a prude.
Yeah. I was like, I was here concerned about like his dick and he's not even concerned about his own dick.
How many dicks is there in the world already?
A lot.
Exactly.
Now a segue.
Now segue into
a more serious conversation. We ain't shit.
Well, segue because we're gonna talk about career and how hard it is to make money. So we have to start selling shit like this.
We have to do other means of work to get our money. But yeah, you sent me a very interesting.
Yeah. So I
What where's that from?
So this girl that I know that I follow, Raisa, shout out mi amor. She posted this and then I was like, wow, I've never felt more seen. So I just reposted it.
I have it here.
And when I tell you the amount of people that commented on this, I was like, oh, like this is really like
something.
This is really what people are thinking about. And it's a very generational thing. It's very millennial to think this way. So you can read it.
I've been battling with this for so long, but years ago, I finally made a decision. I no longer want to climb the corporate ladder. I started turning down managerial roles, not because I lacked ambition, but because I wanted time for things that truly make me feel alive, my hobbies and my passions. I've also made peace with the fact that everything I love, I've also made peace with the fact that everything I love does not need to be monetized. Because the last thing I want is to burn out from the very thing that brings me joy. and we'll insert it here.
Mm-hmm.
But what kind of like what was the basically like what was the general sentiment of people reaching out to you when you posted it?
Well, a lot of people felt and related to it very closely. I mean, for me, I've been working in corporate America for like the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And I'm tired. And I came to a realization last year that I was like, I don't want to be no VP of nothing. I don't want to be no director of nothing. I just want to get paid adequately enough for me to live my life comfortably, be able to travel, buy myself like little nice things, but I don't need to be managing 10 people under me. I have zero interest. I have zero interest of being I am a person that I do not get my confidence from my job. Like, some people are like, I am the VP of blah, blah, blah. That's not me. I am a bad bitch on my own. And I don't need no title to give me that boost of confidence. So I feel like I don't need to be the vice president of said company or director or executive, whatever, to feel good about myself.
I think
I also don't want the responsibility of dealing with people because, as we know, Gen Z people are fucking stupid. And I do not want to manage them.
they are like, I don't know. And I don't want to generalize everybody because I do know a few people that are very hardworking. But they're just, I don't know, they're just like very like not responsible or they're no accountability.
They're not hard workers. Just put it what it is.
Yeah, they're not hard workers.
They're not hard workers. They don't they want to do the bare minimum.
If things is
and
out
so
of
do
their
I.
if things are out of their convenience or like a little like inconvenient, they're like, oh, like, all right, like I give up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's it, like nothing else. Like you just tried once and that's it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's not. But it's funny that you say that because you're saying your confidence does not come from your job.
No.
And a lot of people do, like me personally, a few years ago, I'm always on the go and I'm always like being productive. And sometimes I would feel that my confidence was coming from being so productive. And it took a while for me to sit with myself and be like, no, bitch, you're more than fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to do 100 things. Even though I love being 100 things doing it. But at the same time, like some days, like I just don't want to do shit. Like today. Today I don't want to do shit. But people do get a confidence just to say like, I'm a manager.
Or like I run this company.
Or I run this department.
Yeah. This is a little segue. I have a friend that she went on a trip with her partner's friends.
Okay.
His circle.
Okay.
And there was this obnoxious guy that he would be extremely comfortable asking people, oh, how much you make.
I don't like that question.
How much you make. And like to me, like if we're in the same industry and you're asking me on some like one-on-one, like, hey, like how much are you making? Like I would be very transparent, like this is what I do. But I am not going to tell you. There are people that you know what their intentions are, and it's just to diminish what you're doing. I make enough. So he's the type that he got his confidence from being whatever the fuck he was doing. And all right, they can fire you tomorrow. Where's your confidence?
Gone. I know who you're talking about. I was like, I don't like that question. Yeah, I was like, I don't like that question. And another question I don't like that just came up for me. How much do you pay for that? How much was that? And I'm like, if you're cool with that person that you're talking to, then good. Oh, ¿cuánto vale eso? Pa yo saber, you know? But if you're just like wanting to know to like gauge a person's pocket.
You can know when people are like, oh, like that shirt's nice. Oh, how much was it? And you can tell like I'm interested in like I want to buy it from myself or for as a gift. Like very and you can tell when people are trying to like gauge how much you paid. And I remember back in the day, I've always had very expensive taste. And I've always supply to my very expensive taste. And at some point, I would kind of like downplay, like, oh, like it was on sale, girl. No. Yes, I bought it. Yes, I spent an incredibly obnoxious amount of money on certain stuff. Yes, I did it. Yes, it's none of your business.
It's not affecting you in any type of way, but I'm just saying, like, you're gaining confidence from somebody else's pockets, or you're like,
Or you're trying to be like nosy.
yeah, and no.
So a lot of people in my DMs like felt that. A lot of people were saying I fought so hard for this said promotion
And then
and I got it and they're like, I hate it.
It's funny because I told my manager last year that I wanted to be a director at my job. And I was like, oh, like I want to become my director. But honestly, I just wanted the money. I was like, I could get this role. And I was like, I already am like a bad bitch. So I was like, I know that I could do it. But honestly, like now thinking about it, I said it once and I never followed up with it.
Yeah.
Because it's not really like what I want to do. And I don't want to, I like the position that I am in. I like to manage who I manage, and I don't have to deal with like all the politics of the company. So I feel like people should be comfortable with picking their piece.
I actually had the opposite conversation with my director last year. I said, I am very comfortable. I said, would I like to like maybe level up slightly and get a little bit more money? Yes, but I was like, I am not trying to be no director of nothing. I was like, I know the higher you climb,
The more responsibility.
the more responsibility, the more you lose of your life. Because once you get paid a crazy amount of money, the company feels the need
that they own you.
that they can call you at 10 p.m. I'm not answering no 10 p.m. phone calls. I don't answer my friends or family's 10 p.m. phone calls. I am not answering no client phone calls at 10 p.m.
Oh man, baby, your fucking bedtime is 9:30.
Yeah. So I had that conversation. I made it very clear. I was like, if you are grooming someone to take on a wrong bitch, don't fire me. But a wrong bitch ain't the one.
And what she said?
She said I have so much potential, and I said I absolutely do. And it's not for this. I didn't say that part.
No,
But I was like, I do have a lot of potential. I know I'm extremely intelligent. Duh. Yeah, it's not my prerogative.
Yeah, I think being clear with her was good because maybe in her mind she thought like, oh, like I'm gonna help this person become A, B, and C, and you were like, no, baby, like I'm good right here.
I'm good. You could pay me more. I could do a little bit more, but you not putting me in the line of talking to all the bosses. That ain't happening.
That you do enough.
Yeah. Like, I was covering for one person once from leave, and this person is extremely insecure and was very just like nervous about their job. And one time I sat down, I was like, listen, I am not after your job. I don't want your job. You're fine. I'm going to cover you for your leave. You're going to come back to a job.
And it's gonna be there.
And it's going to be there. I don't want it. I am not going to throw you under the bus. I am just trying to get through this just as much as you are. I am not after it. And I think like se calmó, and then she like understood like, oh, okay, like he's not the enemy. And I do get a lot of people get to that because corporate America is a cutthroat environment.
And they always want to pin people against each other. And they also want to like sell people like, oh, like this position brings these things and like this salary and like, you know, it's something to attain. But if you are a confident person within yourself of who you are and what are your actual goals that bring you peace, that bring you happiness, then you don't need the validation from a job.
Yeah.
And these are people that are easily brainwashed as well.
Yeah, there are people who just get the validation of what they do, and then it's fine. You could be proud of your accomplishments, but
you can also be proud to be at peace.
Don't let it just define who your personality is. Like, don't become a finance bro who all they talk about is being a finance bro. Speaking of that thing in White Lotus, Saxon told his dad, without this job, I don't know who I am. Perfect example.
Yep. I was like, if you guys are watching White Lotus.
And after his brother jerked him off, I don't know who the fuck you are either.
What would you say at the last piece where the post was saying about like you don't want to exasperate your thing that brought you so much joy to then kind of like, what did it say?
You don't want the thing that gives you joy to burn you out.
Exactly.
I think there's a fine line of, because they always say if you love what you do,
you won't be tired.
You won't work a day in your life, which I completely understand. Yeah. I think there's a fine line with loving what you do in your hobby, and if you can monetize, you can, but don't ever let the joy of it get away because it's a business, because then that's when you're back to working.
Like, we could be transparent. Like, we love doing the podcast, but sometimes, like,
I mean, it's been rough this year.
Yeah, it's been rough, but we enjoy it. But we also are being authentic to ourselves and listening to ourselves, that if we feel that it's just not becoming joyous anymore, then we're not going to continue. Or
if it's not flowing.
Or yeah, or we're going to shift.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to
like, we're going on summer break, and I don't want to hear the word content for 3 months.
You know, I was just thinking, I was like, last night I said I was going to try to do a little content, nada.
Yeah.
It was not in the front of my mind.
I think for me, I like to separate content and play.
Yeah.
Because then I don't want to make everything that's play into content.
Well, that's
if it doesn't flow naturally. Like, if I'm gonna do a content of like, all right, girls, let's do a fun reel, and everything's done, but I'm not gonna force like, we need to get this. That's why I like to schedule content days. And then when I'm in a content day, I am very on like, this is what I need to do. And I want to get a cute outfit pick for this. But that's the way I like to separate my life.
It works. If your mindset is like, this is what I'm going to do for content, then you're focused. But then when you're like, okay, the time is up, like, let's put our phones away.
I am very good at compartmentalizing my life.
You are.
Like, this is my work, 9 to 5. At 5 o'clock, we're off. This is my content day. We're shooting for 6 hours or whatever it is. Once that's done, that little drawer is over.
But I want to say,
I don't talk about it. What?
I was going to say, when you do content, you're like, all right, you're like, we're out. And then you'll be like, all right, I'm going to take a picture here. You do a few pics.
We got it.
15 minutes. We got it. Okay, great. Continue. That's it. And I'm just like, I love it. Like, you don't make it so stressful on yourself.
No, because I'm very, I don't know, I have a brain that I can really compartmentalize a lot. Yeah. So I'm very able to be like, oh, I see the vision there through 2 pictures. If I don't get it, I'm ugly. I'm not gonna like drag the whole day because I'm fucking ugly that day. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, it's not happening. And then I move on. So I'm very good at like compartmentalizing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's good. But I just suggest that everyone thinks about what brings you joy.
And if your prerogative is to climb the corporate ladder,
then that's great.
Go right ahead. We need leaders. We need leaders like to lead.
I was like, we need people to lead.
It ain't me, but I need someone.
Yeah.
I need someone to sign the paycheck. So, like, if it's you, let it be you. Yeah. Personally, it's not me. Unless it's my own stuff.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, I think because we work for others, we're like, we don't want, we're good here. Like, I do what I have to do. I have enough responsibilities. I have a comfortable life. My paycheck is flowing in. Savings is looking good. Then you're happy, you're content. But when you have your own thing, like I've been thinking about it, I was like, oh, like, what if I had like a business? Then it's a little different because now everything is relying on me. But I also wouldn't want it to be like I'm so stressed that I'm not able to enjoy my fruition.
The thing is that when you start your own business, everything you work for is for yourself. Yep. It's not like you're working and you're giving your hard work and your everything to someone else. So like if you're selling something, if you're selling scarves and they're like, Magic brand scarves,
Yeah.
you're giving the money to Magic and you're getting like a paycheck out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe some commission. If you are launching Marlene Scarves and everything you do is gonna go back into Marlene Scarves LLC.
Yep.
And that's you.
Exactly. So it's a little different, but just think about it. Is your personality
And it's
being
very American
defined?
to do
Yeah.
that because the Europeans don't give a fuck what you do. The
No, they
Europeans
don't.
only give a fuck if you're hot. And pretty much if you're hot, which we qualify.
Yeah, like they care about being
And like
having a
having
good time,
fun.
having fun.
Quality of life.
They have a siesta time frame.
Oh, I fucking hate when people. One time, a manager of mine told me, "Work hard, play hard," and I was like, "How hard are we working?" And you ain't playing hard because you're always working. Ain't me.
It ain't me, sis.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I travel and my company knows, like, I was like, oh, Marlene, when like here, are you going? Everybody travels at my job, first off, but we share what we're travel, and nobody really like questions me about it because one, I have my fucking PTO. Nobody's judging me about it because I don't got no kids. Like this is the life that I have built. Like this is what I am doing for myself. And nobody should be questioning like anything. Like you manage how you would like to have your life. If you decided to have kids or blah 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 blah, that's what you do. That's great. If you decide to have a partner and not have no kids, great. If you decide to be an artist and you're like living out your joys, great. Like whatever you want to do, there's no judgment. But I just feel like sometimes like people just get so consumed because we are sold this American dream.
Yeah. I have a cousin in Colombia who worked at a bank and became like a general manager of a very big bank over there. Miserable, like was seeing like a psychiatrist, like very high demanding job.
Yeah, I was gonna
Hated it,
say
but
he's driving him insane.
it was a woman.
Driving them insane.
Driving her crazy, but she was able to buy an apartment there. She lived very well, like this and that. She kind of had like a mental breakdown and like quit, and then she just started her life over. She lives very humbly. She was managing a hostel, but lives very humble, lives her fucking best life. She started making like little bracelets and she was selling them. She's very like hippie, like bohemian, like lives her absolute best life. And her mom is like, I worked so hard to give her an education, this and that. And she's like making bracelets and selling them in the street and this and that. And I was like, if that's what makes her happy, that is what makes her happy. Who are you to judge what people's happiness is? And I told my aunt, because I keep it real with everybody. You could be my family member. I was like, would you rather be selling bracelets or her being so overwhelmed with work that she commits suicide?
That's what I was gonna say.
I was like, it can happen. Some people get so worked up that they might do something that's that you can't take back.
Yeah, and what she said.
She stayed quiet. I was like, let the bitch make her fucking beaded bracelets. I'm gonna buy her the beads.
But that's a great example. Like it was driving her to like mentally not be okay.
Yeah.
And but because her mom basically didn't bring her like worked on her education or like gave her this type of lifestyle, she sold it to her like, okay, this is the type of thing you need to do. You need to be like on this type of position, et cetera, et cetera. Then she reached a position and then she's like, I can't, like, this is too much. Like, and then you're having a mental breakdown. It's not like fulfilling. Like, she's fulfilled with having a business because a hostel is a business still.
Well, it's not her hostel.
Okay.
Well, she manages, but she's thriving, lives life.
Mi amor, si eso es lo que ella quiere, she doesn't want the responsibility.
Yeah.
She just manages or makes sure that things are done. She gets her paycheck. And then she wants to do bracelets.
Yeah, it's like also from White Lotus Lori at the final episode that she was like, if you haven't watched, I'm gonna ruin it because you should have watched already. It's like Lori, she was
you be fucking yelling at us when we don't watch the White Lotus.
Yeah. Lori said that having a kid didn't bring her happiness.
I love that part.
Having her career didn't bring her happiness. Something about her religion didn't bring her happiness. What
She
brought
has
her
different type of she has different type of religions, and then one was her job.
Yeah,
One
that's
was
what it
her
was.
marriage. She was not even fulfilled with being a mother.
Yeah, which normalize not being fulfilled as a mother, as a parent.
Well, that goes back to like, again, like you're taking a role and making it your main person, like who you like. You're that role takes over your personality or who you are. Like, and no offense to any mothers, because I have a close experience with this with somebody that she's a mother, but like that's like before being a wife, being herself, like taking care of herself. And like, I know that being a mother is a great thing, but also like, don't forget that you were a human before being a mother. You were you were a individual before being a mother.
Yeah.
So don't let the job or the role take over who you think this is who you are,
I have a lot of friends who are mothers, and we have a good understanding that we do a little catch up. How are the kids? They're good. And then we don't talk about them because they don't want to talk about kids because they have kids. I don't want to talk about their kids because I don't have kids. So we talk about housewives and like
shit that
like
is not that's gonna relax your mind, not actually stress
yeah.
it.
Honestly, I love all my nieces and nephews. I don't want to talk about children all day long. I do not. I don't care that your kid made an omelet yesterday. It doesn't bring me joy.
Exactly.
So,
but at the Lori from White Lotus, she was basically saying like she's had all these religions, all these things that have been basically like her personality. Well, the role takes over like who she is.
Yeah.
Or she has been in this religion with this role. And it just did not satisfy her. She was happy with just being at the table, like being present, being in in this long-term friendship that she has, even though they talk shit about each other. Like, she is content with that. And I was just like, that's really nice. Like, that's really nice. And also I felt like she valued her friendship and the time frame that they have been together.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
Sam, back to White Lotus. No, but everything goes back to White Lotus. No, but that was a little post that intrigued a good conversation.
Yeah.
In my DMs.
I invite you guys to think about who you are as an individual and write down who you are as an individual, and if any of these things that you write down is a role or a job or something to that effect, start questioning it.
Yeah.
Does it bring you joy? Is it something that you really like brings you peace? You feel better after? Just, think about it. Thank you guys for listening, watching. Please like, subscribe, share with your mothers. Share with those that may need to hear this. And please give us a follow or a like or anything like that.
And if
Show
you
us
want to
some love.
buy some of these beautiful pictures,
And yes, if
you know where to reach us.
Yeah, and if you have any questions about would you jerk off your partner a dick with your feet,
I'll do whatever you guys want with my feet.
please drop them below. Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to Spilling the Tea with Estee and Marlene.
Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform. Bye, guys.